Hey guys, how you going? I decided I'd pop on here because I was hemming and hawing on a particular topic, which is in fact astrology. And I know that it is one of those controversial topics that not everyone believes in, whether you're a skeptic or you're skimming through or you actually deeply believe in it. But I thought it would be super fun to show you how you can use astrology to your advantage, how you can enjoy the natural elements that you can study and find out more about yourself to like and to explore and actually empower yourself with, which is what I'm all about, the empowerment. And I was just watching Haley Tapper, one of my favorite business coaches, on the feminine and the masculine. And I thought, do you know what? I was so close to not doing this, but then I thought, no, I got it because this is actually a lot of fun and I love it. And I believe I've got something for you guys. So this is a little bit about how I can show you what works and what doesn't. And one of the ways that you can figure it out is by using 4 signs that are super important. And these are your rising, your sun, your moon, your Venus, and even Mars. Just had a bit of tea there. So first of all, I'd love to say thank you so much for downloading. This sheet tells me that you're curious about what's happening. But second of all, thank you so much for just tuning in. This is great stuff. So what I wanted to say that use this time during the pandemic to obviously get introspective, reflect on life. This is an amazing time to be in, really. As a sort of partial introvert, I find that it's pretty much living my best life at the moment, just doing whatever I need to do without any obligations to get out. It's freaking crazy, actually. Extrovert side, not so much. So what I have here in my notes, just thought I'd show you guys this a second. Love this notebook. So when it comes to astrology, I don't think a lot of people understand that, even I didn't understand that every sign is ruled by a certain planet. And one little thing that I can tell you about me is that I have my rising sun in Taurus, which is how I get my kind of earthy feels for things, how I love my possessions, how I work hard towards things, and probably will be getting a nanny for my kids. We'll see. And it's interesting because I always get feedback from my friends about how my makeup is always so natural, and that's actually a full Taurus thing. We love earthy hues, we love to go all natural with things, and we're also ruled by the planet Venus, and I actually kind of enjoy that fact, to be honest. And we're also very slow to take on things, which is great. And my sun is in Aries, so I'm a huge go-getter. I am definitely a risk taker, and I tend to be a little bit hyper with things. Like, I grasp things really fast, and speed is like a thing for me. I'm also quite outspoken and bold. I can be quite assertive, and that's a full-on Aries thing, since it's a fire sign. And then my moon is in Pisces, which is fascinating because it's a very creative, it's an empathic, intuitive sign, and it's a fish, and it's water. So I find water signs are very secretive. You can actually find out more about it in the description of this clip. I'll be putting in some of the blogs that I've written about them. Fire, water, earth, and air. It's all good stuff. And I find that the creative and the intuitive seems to help me with all my creative projects, so I love that part too. It's great. And then I know, funny enough, that my Venus is actually in Aquarius. What this means is that Venus is the planet of love and relationships and also creativity, and it's also kind of the reason why I'm so curious and I'm always trying to defy conventions, which is a big Aquarius thing. And it's a rebellious sign. Loves deep things. It's also curious and loves to do the unconventional relationships, which would explain why I just can't seem to be satisfied by the normal pro tip quo etiquette type of dating relationship style of things, which is interesting. Learn a lot from that. So you kind of have all of that information, and once you put down all that information into the page, you can actually see yourself from a different perspective. There's not always things that you might agree with it, because you do have some degrees of stereotypes in our culture, but not in the studies. The studies can actually be incredibly accurate, and they can go to depth. And I'll be covering that in the link below as well. So what I would love you to do is just to find out what your signs are and find out what benefits you can get from them, what kind of elements you can get from them. This is also to help understand yourself more and love yourself better. For instance, just the other day I found out that there was a retrograde with Neptune, and Neptune's actually the ruler of Pisces, and I thought this is actually really awesome because there's so many things that I can appreciate my moon sign for, because it's actually my internal emotional state, which would actually explain, and this is not a coincidence, that I've had quite a few more relationships with Piscean guys because of the fact that my moon's in Pisces, because I find it so incredibly easy to connect with them because we get each other without even trying. So that's interesting. So once you've studied and relate to them, you can figure out what works for you, which elements are there. You can even write a love letter to the planets if you'd like. That's actually something I did. I said a Dear Neptune type of letter. And it was very cathartic. It was very, you release what you think you should be, and you take in what you naturally are, and you get to empower yourself with that. Of course, biggest disclaimer I can say here is that this is not really a one-off thing. You can go back to that list again and again when you feel bored, or you feel curious, or you're just looking for something to do. These things can actually help a lot just to revise over and over, because with every level of understanding you get to a different level of understanding. So that's super cool. Apart from that, enjoy, guys. I am so happy to be able to share this with you, because I was kind of wondering whether I should or shouldn't, since astrology is not everyone's cup of tea, but it does say a lot about the person and about other people, and the minute you recognize it in yourself, you can see it in other people, so it's really kind of cool like that. And of course, check out my other freebies too, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you get some use out of it, and feel free to share that paper around as well. Have a great time.